And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports. This is the first time you're watching us. Thank you for stopping by. And let us know, if it is the first time you're watching us, let us know in the comment section as to how you found out about BWTM and whether you like the video. Don't just hit the dislike button. Let us know what you like why you like the video, why you didn't like the video. And of course, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Don't like what you see, and unsubscribe. Simple as that. Okay, so check out our BWTM sports group on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you want to connect with other people within the boxing realm, click on the link below, and we'd love to have you in the room. And you can talk to us about videos on BWTM sports, videos, interviews you'd like to see, breakdown videos, and anything else you'd like to see on the channel. It doesn't just have to be about boxing, be about any sport. Okay. So, Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker. I've kind of been a bit of a coward in doing this because I know that if I did this at a certain time of the day, that would get loads of people in the room, and I really don't want that work today. It's a Sunday. But I want to get this off my mind. Crucial YGN BWTM saved my boring ass Sunday. I think Sunday might be one of the days we're actually going to have as our scheduled day. I'm still talking to people behind the scenes to have our scheduled day of once we get our act together, our scheduled day for sport, to talk sport, because there's more people at the table than just me. Right, but it's great to have you on board and in your room. So Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker, or if you go on various channels, depending on what the agenda is, if they're pro Anthony Joshua, you'll hear them only say great things about Anthony Joshua. And if you're pro Joseph Parker, then you're going to say Joseph Parker, Joseph Parker wins the fight. And then you've got guys that are pretty neutral and straight down the middle. You know what? There was a time I used to enjoy doing prediction videos and breakdown videos, but I don't know if it's the climate that has changed, but it seems that there's an almost uncomfortable feeling of you have to get your predictions right, or you have to, you know, if you don't root for the guy that is the favorite, then you're crazy. But because of the favorite, it's who's favorite and why is that person the favorite. Sometimes it is the case that that guy actually is the better fighter. Other times it's media hype. So that person's with the same network, and you know, and that network's a very big network, and that's their cash cow. So they've got to boost the person up to be like a god, whether they're just a good fighter. You know, and that's where sometimes it gets very uncomfortable. Pacquiao versus Mayweather is one of those fights where it was very uncomfortable. And I said, no matter how much fast hands Pacquiao's got and all the pad work he's doing, he's not beating Mayweather. And I said it. And it was very uncomfortable and got a huge amount of hate for it. And it almost makes you feel as if you don't really want to do breakdown videos, because sometimes you love the sport so much, and I'll be sitting here and I'll be in my room thinking, I really want to get my thoughts down. I want to talk about my thoughts, but then times I can't be doing the grief. So sometimes I just don't do the breakdown videos. But here I am today. I'm going to do this breakdown video, and why not? There's not, yes, sir. You'll be saving me every weekend, right? So Sundays might be the day I get less grief. I'll just get the grief afterwards in the comment section. Right. So these are thoughts off the top of my head. I don't have any script here, so I don't have a list of things. I normally do lists, but this time I've not got no list. Okay. So both guys, you know, are unbeaten. And I think both guys in their last fight didn't look great. Okay. Despite what the pundits might want to tell you. Takam, from what I was told, did no sparring for the fight, in the lead up to the Joshua fight and had what, a week's time to prepare. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is. But people on the inside said that Takim didn't have much time to prepare for the fight, and he didn't bring in much sparring. And if that's the case, and that's what he did against Joshua, then there's reason to be concerned. As with Joseph Parker, he fought Hughie Fury in a very controversial fight. You split straight through the middle. One side, people say Hughie won the fight, was unanimous, and I have to say I was commentating on the fight at the time. I thought there was only one winner in the fight, which was Hughie Fury at the time. People on the other side of the fence say no, Hughie ran all night long. He didn't do enough. He didn't do enough to beat the champion. Well, I thought that, you know, he made Parker miss and he made him pay. And yes, he did it off the back foot against a guy who could punch. And, he, you know, that was the first time Hugh had fought anywhere near that, remotely that level. And I thought he did enough to win, particularly the fact that Hugh was actually in the UK. And he still didn't get the win. So we all know now that Parker was going to fight Joshua. The conspiracy theorists will tell you, well, Hugh was never going to get the win because they already got the Parker fight signed. Now, I followed that up by actually talking to Joseph Parker, and I asked Joseph, did you and your team have anything set up with Joshua before the Hughie fight? He said, no, not all. In fact, we were looking to fight Lucas Brown. Said there's something like they were going to fight Lucas Brown in China or something like that, but the negotiations fell through for one, and then the Joshua fight came in. So anyway, so he looked genuine what he was saying. He says basically he was in the air, and when he landed, that's when he signed the contract to face Joshua. So I don't know. From what I picked up from Joseph Parker, really nice, humble guy, really nice guy. But this isn't about personality. This is about fighting. So we have to put that to one side. Joshua, you know, an Adonis of a man, and anyone who's known this channel has known that I've called him Hercules, because Hercules has got many stories about Hercules, and Joshua, of course, seems a very well built unit. I've always been critical of Joshua's weight and his size and his muscle, and thoughts of Frank Bruno come to mind because of the lactic acid and having to lug that weight around the ring. We saw against Takim the shortcomings there of stamina issues. Can Joshua do 12 rounds at a hard, fast pace? That's a major question mark. The Takim fight, I didn't see Takim look like he was anywhere near remotely to being stopped, which brought red flags up. Why did the referee want to stop the fight? The referee seemed to want to stop the fight in around the 4th or the 5th round. Why did he want to stop the fight? Was it because Joshua was tiring? Was it because Takim was starting to get himself back into the fight? Why would that fight get stopped the way it did? No, nobody knows, and particularly now, nobody cares because the Joseph Parker fight's around. But Joshua didn't look particularly great in that fight, to be honest with you. Yes, he got the job done, but he didn't look great. And I said in the preview to the fight, there's no way Anthony Joshua is blowing Takim away. Takim is going to be a moving target, and if he closes the range down at Anthony and doesn't allow Anthony to land big right hands from out range, you know, if Takim's at the end of Joshua's punches, there's a problem. But if Takim's able to get inside, mid to on the chest, Takim's going to be safer and he'll be dangerous. And he had his moments. So how do I see this fight between Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua? Both guys have got strengths and weaknesses, okay? First and foremost, the first thing that we've got to talk about is the chin. Okay. Dave Higgins, Kevin Barry, Joseph Parker. Listen, you three guys I've got the max amount of respect for and a lot of love for. And Kevin Barry, I got a lot of love for you, man. I got a lot of love for you. A lot of love for you. But there are a few home truths, okay? And here they come. Say what you want about Anthony Joshua's chin, but he was hit on his chin by Vladimir Klitschko. Yeah, but Vladimir Klitschko hadn't fought for 2 years. I know. I get it. But it still hit Joshua on the chin. Joshua went down and he got up. Now, and Klitschko did land some right hands during and after that right hand as well, which Joshua took. Okay. So his chin isn't as bad as everybody makes it out to be. Yes, he was stopped in the amateurs. Holden, even David too got stopped in the amateurs, and he had one of the best chins in the pro game. Now, I will say this much. If you look at the times Joshua's been hurt in his career, i.e. the Dillian Whyte round and the Klitschko fight, both guys, for whatever reason, Dillian Whyte wasn't fit. I said it to you guys before the fight. I said it to you in the preview. Dillian Whyte should not have fought Anthony Joshua. He wasn't fit. He was injured. And he was out of shape. That's what Dillian Whyte did to Anthony Joshua. You take these things in segments, and then you begin your breakdown, and you ask yourself the question, right, he hurt Joshua but couldn't finish him off. Was he fully fit? No. Was he injured? Yes. Subsequently, straight after the fight, we see Dillian Whyte in a bed with his shoulder being, well, I think shoulder injury, whatever it was, and him being going under surgery for the fight, after the fight. So there's your evidence there. This point here is where there's a red flag for Anthony Joshua and a plus point for Joseph Parker. What Dillian Whyte and Klitschko didn't do is what Joshua and Parker will do. Dillian Whyte lacked amateur experience, came from a kickboxing background. That may have been a problem right there, and he's learning on the job. Klitschko, according to his brother, according to him, his brother told him to hold back on Joshua. That didn't work out. Miscalculation. Should listen to James Bashir. Anyway, the one thing Joseph Parker can do, and you heard it right here, and you go back and look at his videos, he is a fantastic finisher. I mean, in recent fights, he's not been in position to finish guys off. Fury, Ruiz, two guys have got good chins, never been stopped. That's good. That's good work Parker's had. Well, he's had 3 fights now where he's gone the distance. Good work. 3 12-round bouts in his favor. He's done the distance. He can do 12 rounds. That's not in the back of Parker's mind. If Parker gets Joshua hurt, like Whyte and Klitschko did, Parker will finish Joshua off. Make no mistake about it. Parker is the best finisher that Joshua's faced in his career, bar none, so far. Better than Klitschko. You got to remember Klitschko is a guy that's always worried about himself getting hit. So, you know, the different mentality of a guy like Parker, who hasn't been dropped or hurt in his career, as he says. He'll be coming in and looking to finish Joshua off if he gets a chance. I'm not lying. Look at Parker's resume. Look what he does as a fighter. You know, okay. So that's one thing. I'm putting points together and breakdowns while I'm talking. So don't jump at me, and I will look at the comments after I finish, so I don't lose track. In terms of Parker and his chin, who's he actually been hit on the chin by? He's never been hit on the chin by Klitschko in the pro rank, so we can't say his chin is better. We can say that he's gone 12 rounds and he's been hit on the chin, and he hasn't been hurt or dropped. And according to Stavern, who has sparred with him on numerous occasions, says Parker's tough, he's strong. Samoan fighter, like Tour, carries a good chin. But at the end of the day, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, the best chin in the world is one that doesn't get hit. Cliche, but it's true. If you don't get hit, if you've got a good defense, there's no need to worry about it. So that's the first thing, chins. Well, Stamanov touched on it already. Parker's been the distance 3 or 4 times in his career. So he doesn't have that little thing nagging him back in his mind saying, I wonder if I can do 12 rounds. I've never done 12 rounds before. He can do it, and he can do it pretty well and at a good pace. Joshua hasn't. In fact, the one chance he had to go 12 rounds against Takam, the referee stopped that from happening. And that, in my opinion, hurt the Joshua development rather than benefit. You know, you're looking to build a champion that's going to stay. And him doing 12 rounds would have been a benefit to him. Even if he didn't knock Takam out. Forget the records. Records are for DJs, all right? You're looking to build a champion that's going to last. Joshua didn't do 12 rounds. And that's a key point. Because if this fight goes late, and a tough fight, and the last 3-4 rounds, you're going down the last 3 rounds, and both guys are in the corner, you've got to have Josie Parker saying, I can do 12 rounds. I've been 12 rounds before. I've been 12 hard rounds before. I can do 12 hard rounds again. I've been 12 hard rounds in a situation where I couldn't bloody catch the guy. I've been 12 rounds in a guy where the guy's hit me back and I'm hitting him and it's a box. I've been 12 rounds, the guy I couldn't get out of there. Ortiz and Fury. I've hit a guy with my best punch and he's still there and no referee's coming and stopping the fight. Parker will sit there in his corner in the championship rounds and know that. Joshua will sit in the corner going, well, I've done 12 rounds in the gym, but as a professional, I've never done 12 rounds. And eventually, Joshua will have to do the 12 rounds. You really don't want to be going in there with 12 rounds against a guy who's got better stamina than you. At this point in time, at this particular fight, until Joshua does go 12 rounds, I've got to say, Parker, at this point in time, has the better stamina. But he doesn't look like he's run out of gas in fights from video footage. It seems to me that Parker seems to have the better stamina going down the stretch, and he's done it more than one occasion. I'm not guessing here. I'm not hoping and saying to myself, well, you know, Josh can do 12 rounds. I don't know if he can do 12 rounds. I legitimately don't know if he can do 12 rounds in a hard fight. This is a unification bout now. This isn't Joe Blogs down the road. This is a unification bout. Okay? This is for most of the marbles here. And a lot of people dismiss Joseph Parker as, Josh will win the belt, and, you know, we're going to go on with the Deontay Wilder fight. Upsets happen for a reason. And Parker's got the ingredients for to cause an upset, and he is dangerous. Another thing we need to look at, we looked at stamina. So I'm giving Parker a stamina edge there. In terms of chin, I don't know about Parker's chin against a real big puncher. And Joshua, you know, he's taken big punches from a genuine heavyweight that has got a knockout record against good opposition, which is Vladimir Klitschko. So when I look at that, I give Joshua the edge. But he's been knocked out as an amateur. I know. But I give him the edge in terms of what's been done. What's been done and who he's faced. I'm doing it on what he's faced. I can't say, well, Joshua didn't go 12 rounds, so that if you can do the 12 rounds. Joseph Parker's never been hit by somebody that hits as hard as Klitschko. And now he's going to get hit by Joshua. Nobody knows how Parker's going to react to Joshua's right hand. We don't know. We really don't know. Next thing. Style of fighting. To me, looking at Anthony Joshua's style of fighting, he seems to be very happy on the front foot. And that's where he looks really good. That's where the highlight reels look great. That's where the fans and the casuals seem to enjoy the highlight reels. Him coming forward, him chucking bombs, and the other guy falling over. This fight is not that kind of party. For as long as Joseph Parker is on his feet, he is going to be a legitimate threat. And if Joshua gets hurt in this fight, he's in trouble. I've said it before. Joseph Parker what he brings to the table. For him to win this fight, Joseph Parker, there's only one way Joseph Parker can win this fight, for me. You have to find a guy's strengths and his weaknesses, and you've got to reduce his strengths and attack his weaknesses. And for me, Joshua, when he's got his back against the ropes, is not a good fighter. He doesn't know what to do with his back against the ropes. He doesn't have to fight off the ropes. There's no one of these guys that has front foot, brilliant. Back foot, not so good. If you look at the Klitschko fight, again, he seemed out of water when he was fighting against Klitschko. Parker has to keep him on the front. He's got to, and Joshua's a big puncher on the front foot when all his momentum's going forward. So what Parker's got to do is two things. He cannot stand in front of Josh. He's got to come to the sides. His attacks have got to be from the sides, meaning he comes straight out of Joshua and he's at the end of Joshua's right hand. He's in trouble. So he can't stand in front of Joshua and try and box him like that. Not early, at least. He's got to stay away from Joshua and make Joshua in big lunge and big right hands, like Takam was making him miss, make him pay. Joshua is actually most vulnerable. He's most vulnerable when he's on the attack. Joshua's not defensively responsible. When he's on the attack, he's most vulnerable. So Parker's going to have to, when Joshua's going to initiate his attacks, he's actually got the faster hands in this fight. So Josh has to be careful when he opens up that Joseph can't get in and capitalize on that. Faster feet, faster hands. Parker's got the advantage, I think, in that department. Parker, for me, the strategy's got to be push Joshua back. When you push Joshua back, you nullify that punching power, so he doesn't have range. So get close, get inside, and make it an inside type of fight. Now, from various guys I've heard that have sparred with Joshua, he isn't as physically strong as Daniel Dubois. What I've been told, again, he's not as strong as Daniel Dubois on the inside physically. And this is a guy that sparred both Joshua regularly and Dubois regularly. And he says, when I spar Dubois, he's throwing me around the ring. Joshua's not that kind of guy. He looks physically very big. And that may be an idea. That may kind of also open the door for why Takam was able to do some of the things he was able to do. Parker will look at the Takam fight and say, well, okay, you know, I probably punched harder than Takam. I probably can move as fast as Takam. I've got just as good an engine as Takam. And I'm going to be in shape better than Takam's going to be in shape. And I'm a champion. So it's not about what Joshua looks like on the front foot. Of course, if Parker stands in front of Joshua, the first round comes out and Parker stands in front of Joshua and he decides to be on the end of that right hand, well, it's sweet good night for Mr. Parker. He's got to get on the inside. Double up the jabs, lots of feints, get on the inside, stay on Joshua's chest, and go for it. That's where success will come. That's where Parker's success will be. Fast hands, fast feet, get inside, and make Joshua miss. Then big lunging right hands, make him miss. Take the fight into the second half of the fight, and then come on strong late. Parker can do that because he's got it in the tank to do that, which makes Parker dangerous. Of course, Joshua could blow him out in a couple of rounds. But with a guy like Parker, who seems to have a good chin and a good engine, he's got a proven engine and work rate. This is going to be a very good fight. I need to go and watch the guys further fight, but these are thoughts that come to my mind, and I look at the two guys. Joshua comes into the fight as a favorite. I understand that. But Parker has more. I see the fight closer than that. I see the fight more 55-45 in favor of Joshua at the moment. There's still time. It's going to be interesting to see how this fight plans out. So I've said my point so far. I've gone 55-45 for Joshua, but I'm going to steady taper these guys again. And people are in the room. And I'm going to start talking. Let's see. Should never be afraid to stand up for your beliefs. I agree. He's hoping Joshua's still carrying too much weight. Yeah. Shout out from the Bulgaria brother. Shout out, brother. Why do you think Wilder Ortiz ticket sales are not going well? Well, I can tell you that. Well, it's very simple. Very, very simple. A lot of people, it actually proves my point. When I said, who the hell is Luis Ortiz? Who the hell is Luis? Oh, we want to see Ortiz fight Wilder. Do you really? All these fans, all these people across YouTube, all these people across boxing fans, we want to see Wilder versus Ortiz. So no, you don't. Full of it. And look at the ticket sales for it. No surprising whatsoever. Tyson called it as it is. I've called it as it is. Who is Luis Ortiz? Who's Luis Ortiz? Oh, he's the most feared man in the heavyweight division. Okay. All right. Okay. He might be. But he's got no personality. And if he does, his management team and his promotional team have done a shit job. Who knows anything about Luis Ortiz? I'm going to talk about this in my next video anyway. So, I will talk about in my next video, Luis Ortiz versus Deontay Wilder. So, to end, so those are my thoughts at the moment on Joshua versus Parker. I'm trying to stay as balanced as possible and things that I've seen so far in the fight. And if I've seen those things, then I'm sure that Kevin Barry and Parker's team will have seen those things, and Joshua's team would have seen the same things about Parker as well. Parker can be outboxed, but has Joshua got the tools to outbox Parker for 12 rounds? Seems to have a decent jab. I don't see Joshua as the kind of guy who'll get in his toes and box Parker like Hughie Fury did. I don't see that. I really don't. And how does Joshua react when he throws his best Sunday punch and Parker walks straight through him? That's another thing. Right, I'm out of here now. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. I'll be back with Luis Ortiz versus Deontay Wilder. See you soon.